What's going on? Welcome back to our exciting episode of Attack Productions. Today I bank joined once again by Adam and Jake as we present the next episode of our Time Wars series. In this particular matchup, it is Nappa and Vegeta had just kind of arrived to planet Earth, and the Z-Fighters have shown up to kind of put a stop to them. And the Cybermen are the ones who attack first because they are Nappa's kind of choice, and Yamcha steps up to the plate. And in this particular episode of the show, Yamcha got exploded by a Cyberman. But we're taking history back, and we're going to try to see if Yamcha could take the victory, or will Nappa continue to win this one out. But yeah, let's kind of get into it, and we'll talk about this format. What's going on, guys?
What's up, everyone?
How y'all doing?
So like always with these particular matchups, we pick leaders that either represent a moment from that episode or that fight, or the close enough leader as we can, because the Yamcha we have, the two Yamcha leaders that we have, if correct, are from the Dragon Ball era. So we are going with the, in this case, set 5 Yamcha, taking on, obviously, I think it was Battle Evolution Nappa, right? No.
That's right.
It was Battle Evolution, okay. So Mono Red taking on, if I recall correctly, it's Red Green, right?
Red Green, yep.
And with these decks, we try to go as roughly, I think we established like roughly 80%, if you can, as either to the archetype or to the theme of the particular episode. In this case, it was very actually easy for these two to make decks. And what I also like about these two decks is that they both had limited amount of actual archetype support, but they've gotten additional support as the sets have came out. So it's kind of nice seeing what these two decks can offer.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that by the end of this, we end up with that funny meme of Yamcha being stuck in a crater. That's my goal.
Well, we'll wait to find out. Stay tuned to the end. So Yamcha is he's an Earthling, you know, so he needs all the support from fellow Earthlings he possibly can. And Baba, so this is actually something that I actually really enjoy about building this particular deck. I love the Yamcha deck, and I've gone back to it every once in a while as the sets come through. But seeing the ability to kind of play Baba again just felt really good. I remember having this promo and just using it all the time, and it just felt good bringing it back out again, because it really serves no purpose in today's formats. But it just feels good bringing out older cards.
Yeah, there's the Nappa deck is pretty straightforward. It looks for Cybermen and tries to put them out and just flood the board with a lot of blockers. And a lot of the Cybermen, when they get KO'd, they have effects. Some of them will get rid of one drop. Some of them will put 10k off of a unison. So this was an interesting matchup because Nappa I'm not super familiar with. So it was a lot of reading and trying to figure out how am I going to be most efficient to be able to get these guys out of there.
So before I think you started coming to our shop, we actually had a buddy who played at the shop occasionally, and this was a deck that he stuck to for a while. It was this and I think Red Bardock. So going into this matchup, I kind of had an idea what to go for, and I will say, because of knowing the matchups beforehand, because when we sign these leaders in this deck, we do know what we're playing against, but we try to build in a way to show off the archetype / theme that we're going for. Oh, it's also, there's no secret rares. All right. But to kind of show off what these decks can do, but we don't want to disrupt our opponents because we want this kind of feel like a good, fair match. So I am playing a mono red deck, but I did choose not to add as my tech options any of the Gohan rares because that would just completely blow out his entire field. And then I can turn around and just swing double strike 25k. And I just feel like, I think it's like 1 energy. And that's just really strong. And it will completely disrupt Nappa's gameplay and just won't even give it a chance to show what it can do in this particular setup we're doing.
Yeah, I think it's the best way to mitigate kind of like one-sided matchups is to build as to not hose your opponent's deck. Keep that in mind when you're building.
Yeah, and we've really tried to make sure that the format that maybe one day could become something cool. So I think that us having our decks being 80% archetype, we usually tech in about 10 cards that are not archetype centered. It really does kind of allow the decks to play and to actually try to get whatever kind of combos they're trying to get off. So,
And this unison is a phenomenal unison for the Yamcha deck because pretty much all the Yamchas are 2-drop Earthlings, so it works great for this deck. And some of the Yamchas benefit from being played from your hand, where I think, if I recall correctly, you draw one card, you put a card bottom of your deck, and I think you play a card or something like that when you do this, when you use this Shinron's ability. Or if you play a card, you bottom deck a card or something like that. But still, being able to play certain cards just get their effects. And I do play the recently championship Yamchas or regional Yamchas. I can't remember exactly which.
I think they were regional promos.
Yeah. I do play 2 of them in this deck. Unfortunately, my dog ate the 3rd one, so.
Likely story.
Yeah. Turn in the paper by the 6th period, Mr. Bancroft, or that's an F.
But I would say at this point in the match, this is a very overwhelming board set. Yes, most of Adam's cards are 4Ks, so they're not going to do much on swings, but a lot of them are just protection. And with that being said, I think the Nappa could give one of them plus 11,000, right?
Yep, that's right. Yep. I mean, it's just like in the anime, it was a lot of little Cybermen coming in. Yep, and I think that one that I'm attacking with now, I believe, if it gets KO'd, it allows me to put a bunch of Cybermen from my drop area back into the deck, because the Nappa on swing allows me to pull 2 Cybermen from the deck and put them into play. So it starts to thin out the deck very quickly, but as you mentioned, a lot of these are just fodder. And so being able to get them back into my deck allows me to continue to utilize that effect on the leader.
And even though I know this negate produces a Cyberman token, it's a counter negate. It's a blocker negate. I mean, just leave me alone. It works.
Yeah, and I did splash in a couple of the Vegeta cards just because they're buddies. And
I mean, Vegeta was there. I actually incorporated 1 TN in my deck. It's a niche way of playing it. If I think it's normally with a 3-drop, but there's a way to play it. I think in for free. It's from the I think it's from one of the Invoker ones or the U7 deck. But you discard 2 red or blue extra cards, and you can play it. Since they don't say red and blue, it could just be like discard 2 extra I don't need, and it plays this team. So it's like, team was there, why not?
Yep, that Wolfang Fist is really nice in your deck.
I mean, it's his signature move, so I think it works out great.
Yeah, in fact, that's a good card as secondary. How do you feel about like this pressure situation right now? You guys are relatively even on life, but doesn't look like Adam has spent all of his energy this turn.
Correct. But so I'm now attacking. So like when it was Adam's turn, I felt like there was a momentary like, oh man, this is just a lot of combo power is what I'm seeing. Not the idea of using it as protection, but just comboing off to get hits in. Either being offensive or defensive, or offensive or defensively. This is an old card we've never seen him play. I think I remember teching it like a long time when it first came out. But if it's comboed from the battlefield, it can play a 2-drop Yamcha from your deck if it's correct. And so I free play that with the Shinron, so I'm not expending any of my own resources to play this card. And I'm tapping 3 for 100% Yamcha, which is one of my favorite cards from back in the day. So he has a activate main burst 5 where your opponent cannot, his attack cannot be countered or negated, one or the other. And he gains like 6,000 power, which makes him a 25k. And if he were to do damage to, if he would KO a battle card, it will deal 1 damage to my opponent's life. Now, the great thing with this particular leader, sorry, I said set 5, right? I think this is the set 10 leader.
Yeah, it's set 9 or 10, yeah.
The leader's auto for game is that if one of my cards deals a damage by using a non-keyword skill to my opponent, then my opponent will take an additional damage. So it's just a sneaky way of kind of like getting out the damage, and I'm swinging at a 4K, comboing out the par, yeah.
War?
What?
To get another attack on the board, and I'm going towards a 4K. So like, if Adam wanted to prevent this attack, he needs a combo heavy from it.
Yeah, it was unexpected. I mean, it almost feels like the perfect card to play against this deck.
Yeah, and I didn't realize it until the moment. I'm like, oh, this will be good. Oh yeah, I think it's 2 damage.
Yeah, because it's 1 from Yamcha.
No.
Yeah.
Wolfang, sorry, 100% Yamcha does 2 damage.
Yeah, and then 1 from your Yamcha lead.
Yeah. So now I'm in a very comfortable space. Now, granted, I do pass because you have an open blocker, so like swinging with the Lawless doesn't mean much. And I think if it's been a while, I get a draw off of him if I end my turn, he's on the board. So really, it's just a piece to get an extra utility to my hand. But now I'm at 3 life with no open energy. Now, granted, I do have Red Unisons. I do have Wolfang Fist in the deck.
And I am terrified of that Yamcha that's rested. Like that was really scary for me to kind of try to navigate 2 damage that's basically uninteractable.
Unless you combo super heavy.
And Merciless Barrage Yamcha coming in clutch here to get rid of 2 of your pieces. And I also went ahead and reduce one of your bigger boys because I don't want that on the board.
Well, I thought we said no SCR.
That's not an SCR. That's just a limit 1. Such as also, if you look at my energy, I have a limit 1 card in there as well. Because a lot of the stuff for the
nice.
Yeah, a lot of stuff in the Yamcha deck, when it comes to like the extra cards like Wolfang Fist, Merciless Barrage, require a unison to maximize stability. So I kind of tacked in a variety of unisons, mainly the red Shenrons, but then I did 1 Piccolo and then 2 of the Roshis, because Roshi has an effect where it can initially do a damage if on play. I think, yeah, on play, if your opponent has like I think 5 or more life, you can deal damage with them. So like for some reason you were so defensive enough to not be hurt at a certain point, I can just play play the Roshi and immediately do an extra damage. And I appreciate you blowing my field up using a skill to show off Bunny Girl Bomo once again to bring out the big old 4-drop, which is an even bigger threat than the 100% Yamcha.
Yeah, good old Desert Hyena. Like, I remember trying to make this card work in competitive lists for a long time, and eventually it found a home in Bulma for a little while, but since then there's just been better Saiyans and Earthlings printed, but the Bunny Girl loop still sees a lot of use, so, take that for what you will.
I also didn't touch base on it too much. Instead of going the Raditz super combo, I went with theme and just grabbed the Yamcha one. Thought that worked out great.
Yeah, I was a little bit disappointed that I had to pay 1 for that arrival combo, because it kind of put me behind 1 in my energy. I wish that I had seen at least a couple of my super combos this game.
Yeah, because you played the Nappa ones, right?
No, I actually played the Vegeta one that plays the Cyberman token.
That's right. Yes, that's right.
Stay on theme.
Well, I mean, it gives you additional 5K blocker, or I'm sorry, a 5K combo piece. If you're doing offensively.
Yeah.
So here you are able to kind of just get rid of the Bulma because I chose not to block with it.
Yeah, so I've still got a couple of attacks. That the Nappa that you see the die on is it gets plus 5K for every either Namekian or Earthling that I KO'd, so it's an extra 15K now.
Yep.
So trying to get you down far enough to be able to go in for the final hit.
And I'm just doing anything I possibly can not to go down too far. And now I have an open blocker on the board to just stop another attack that I feel like if I can't combo out of or deal with it in either way. So it looks like you passed.
When you see a blocker on the field like that, I mean, you might as well just swing with stuff. Otherwise, it's going to be a 5K combo on their turn, in my opinion.
So, using Sharon's ability, because I don't have. Actually, I think Sharon mentions it has to be a 2-drop, so I played another Prar. I was going to play Baba, but it just was easier this way. And really, what I'm trying to do here is build up a very powerful battle card, or in this case, get a cheeky win using 100% Yamcha. So, first play, pay 3, get Yamcha on board, activate the main, and I'm going to swing into one of your 4Ks. Now, his attack cannot be negated, but there are negates that won't negate the attack, and was not expecting this. And then you turn around, popped it anyways, using its effect, just immediately in the battle.
Yeah, the only deck that Flight of the Eagle is any good in.
Which I don't mind, because I didn't have to combo up the Prar, then I could just use it on my Desert Hyena. Now, Desert Hyena matches a 10k if my leader, I think, is Yamcha or one or the other. And then if I can KO a battle card with its attack, I roll restand and it gets the additional, I think, 10k. So here I'm swinging at one of the, I think one Nappa's 15, naturally one's 20, I think. And I'm just swinging at one of them. I can't remember if he gets attack active or not at the top of my head. But really, I'm just kind of get the swing in. Yeah, I chose the 15k, looks like right there. And I kind of just combo up just to make sure the hit goes in. You have, I think one of those sidemen on the board is a blocker right now.
Yeah, the green one that's standing, yeah.
So this is the new Yamcha, which benefits from playing from hand. I played it from the deck, so I don't get the actual its full play out. And I got super confident, and at this point, I'm really upset. And the reason being, I had an open energy for a particular reason. And you can see it in my hand, right? The card's right there. And I forgot to use this card. And we'll kind of go over it maybe a little bit later. I can't remember the name at the top of my head is, but initially I just pay 1 and you can't block with your blocker that was on board. But I didn't do that. Instead, I completely forgot that card was in my hand. I swing, you block. I swing the other. I have no cards in my hand to really combo with anymore. And now I'm kind of like a sitting duck. So I'll play Baba as a opportunity to just boost my leader and try to get this one last hit in. And I think, yeah, this is me just trying to go out. I feel like I had a very clear window to win with a 40k swing and then combo it out, and I just messed up, and you out comboed me here, and I think I have 1 card left in my hand. It's practically useless with 2 open life. Let's see what you do.
Yeah, Yamcha shouldn't pick fights with guys that are bigger and stronger than them and bald.
Well, to be fair, you are kind of ganging up on him with a bunch of your plant homies.
Just trying to hang out, but you have 4 open energies. Not much I can do at this point.
Hey, I found a token. Or I found a super combo. Yay.
There you go.
There's another one.
Yeah. And there I'm just showing the card I had in my hand. Much like the anime or the manga, whatever you're looking at, I got overconfident, much like Yamcha did, and then I got sneak attack or blindsided from the back, and a Sideman blew me up. Thanks for tuning in.
Boom.
And yeah, there's buttons, links, check them out. Thanks for being here, and have a great day. And for our next matchup,